Evening, gang. Welcome to another episode of the Welch Review.
Yeah, man. So today we're watching, an old, I don't know if I'd say it's a classic, but most people know the title. It's White Man Can't Jump, and it might be a fact. So, White Man Can't Jump, pretty star-studded cast, to be honest, but who do we got in it?
So in this movie, you have Woody Harrelson as Billy Hoyle. You have Wesley Snipes as Sidney Dean. You have Rosie Perez as Gloria Clemente, Tyra Farrell as Rhonda Dean, Marquise Johnson as Raymond, Kadeem Harrison as Junior, John Marshall Jones as Walter, Eloy Casados as Tony Stuckey, Frank Rossi as Frank Stuckey, and is directed by Ron Shelton.
Yeah, so basically this movie is about two dudes who what's the right word? They hustle people.
Yeah, hustle.
Yeah, they bamboozle people. No, they hustle people in basketball, right? So they both play basketball and they're hustlers, and neither of them have. Well, actually, that's not true. Wesley Snipes has a job, but it's kind of like on the rocks at the beginning of the film. He's not getting a lot of work. So
he's into construction.
He's in construction. But he hasn't work's been slow, so he's been hustling in basketball. And Woody Harrelson, his entire gambit is that he pretends to be like a nerdy white guy who can't do anything, and then he comes in and he just smacks everybody on the court because he can shoot threes for days.
Just straight buckets.
Yeah, buckets are raining down on us. So,
drip, drip, drip.
Yeah, alright. So, they're hustling. Woody Harrelson hustles Wesley Snipes, who is like the best in his area at the hustle game. Yeah. So then they decide they're gonna hustle together. But then Wesley hustles Woody.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I should add before we continue, Woody Harrelson is hustling because basically he owes the mafia a lot of money.
He owes them money because he was supposed to throw a college basketball game because his girlfriend owed them money. And then he didn't throw the game to prove a point because he has too much pride and he doesn't care about money.
Well, this other kid was talking trash to him, and he was like, they were saying I'm bad!
And then Wesley Snipes is trying to hustle and use basketball to get money to then purchase a house that's not in like this ghetto apartment complex. His wife really wants out. Like Sam said, he has the construction business, but it's not really panning out. And then Woody Harrelson and Rosie Perez, they're the couple there. They've been trying to hide from the Stuckey brothers
while they make enough money to pay them back.
Exactly. So now that they're joint hustling together, and that seems to be going well, but then like Sam left off saying like Wesley Snipes was rolling a side hustle on Woody Harrelson, right? To think that they were tight and they were close. And I'm sorry.
And yeah, so basically he takes all of his money, and then they eventually make amends. They wind up again going to hustle. Not hustle. They enter a tournament.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we'll leave you. But basically, it's just a story about hustling and playing basketball. There are some really, really funny moments before we get into like the good stuff, though. I do want to mention that Woody Harrelson, like this movie's older. It's from the 80s. And some of the stuff that Woody Harrelson says...
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, some of the stuff he says is just kind of blatantly racist. Which, isn't for everybody. Obviously, nobody appreciates it. But if you have trouble like watching stuff like that, maybe don't check this out.
Disclosure.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of like buddy movies, like basketball flicks, like if you like the recent film like Uncle Drew, right, this is the perfect movie for you. Like their chemistry is really, really good. Everyone in the cast seems like they're just having fun. And Wesley Snipes, it's nice seeing him do more than hunt vampires.
Yeah. But just keep that in mind. But yeah, so there's some really funny scenes. There's a character named Raymond, and Raymond is one of these. He is probably a hustler in his own right. But he's a really good basketball player from like a different part of
neighborhood.
Yeah, different neighborhood. Are they in LA?
They're in LA.
Of LA. So he doesn't know Woody Harrelson. So they go and they punk Raymond. So basically, they get Raymond to put up a whole bunch of money, but he doesn't have the money. So he goes to his car to get a gun and a ski mask, and he goes to rob the convenience store like across the street, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy at the convenience store is like, "Raymond, is that you?" And he's like, "Shit!" And then ultimately Raymond sells him his gun to get the money. But it's just really funny watching somebody try to stick up a place, and then the guy being like, "Hey man, knock that off." And he's like, "Okay."
And then he's like, "You got a gun?" He's like, "No, I ain't got a gun. Here, I'll sell you this gun." And then the guy's like, undercuts him like, "Yo, I'll give you $200 when he was asking for like $5 or $4 or something.
I think it was like $250.
But like, it's cool though because like how Ron Shelton filmed it, right? It follows Raymond on his journey, like this really quick cutscene.
Yeah.
Like it just follows him through till he comes back to the court, and it's really cool. Just really cool to see a side character get that like, spotlight.
Attention.
And he did it really well. Like the guy who played Raymond, Marquise Johnson, did a really good job. And then like he just starts like, "I'm gonna shoot all of y'all." Like when he leaves, it just reminds me of Dad when Pops is like, "I just shoot everybody in the ass."
Yeah.
Like.
Basically, Raymond realizes that he was that he was getting punked.
Yeah.
So he's like, "I'm just gonna shoot everybody, and that'll solve my issues." So they leave.
But like it is a really good movie. It's more than just a sports film.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a friend movie. You definitely like. It's nice to see like Billy Hoyle and Sidney Dean seeing some of their own like prejudices against each other. Or maybe that's not even the right word, but like the chips on their shoulder that they have toward one another kind of fade, and they grow to like each other, like the building of a friendship.
Yeah, so one thing that is kind of cool is slowly throughout the film you see Woody Harrelson's character lose the prejudices that he has in the beginning of the film. And even, not that he is necessarily a progressive person, but he isn't like overtly racist. There are moments where he is, but those are typically when he's like really angry because he just got punked by somebody who he trusted. So anyways, it doesn't excuse like the things that he says, but throughout the film he gets to a place where he basically just doesn't do that crap anymore, and he like really respects Wesley Snipes for being like a reliable close friend. So it kind of has an evolution. It has a nice evolution of a character for Woody Harrelson's Billy Hoyle character.
Yeah. And then like some of the side characters, like Rosie Perez, right? She does a really good job. She plays Gloria, who's Billy's girlfriend, and she wants to be on Jeopardy. So she's just studying like all these random facts, and keeps telling him how she's going to be on Jeopardy. And she's really good. Like she really has some really nice moments where she shines. And then some of Sidney Dean's entourage, like Junior, when he's talking about how they're going to go to Sizzler.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought we were going to Sizzler.
Like that's really good. And then the Stucci brothers, their whole shtick is really good. We won't elaborate on that just because it's worth seeing how they operate toward the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's like Rush Hour, right? It's like seeing two opposites, become brothers in the end. But White Man Can't Jump, excellent film, very good sports movie, especially if you're not really into sports movies. So definitely check it out, and we'll see you next time. This has been the Welch Review.